My chosen ones, how y'all doing today? I just wanted to make this video today because I wanted to share a couple things with you guys, and it was mainly because I felt like a lot of people could relate to this certain situation. And the things that I really wanted to talk about is number one is we want to live below our means. So if we're out there, if we're spending too much money, if we're living check to check, we feel like we don't have a lot of money to ourselves, then we got to do a better job of just cutting back on our spending and just making better choices for ourselves. If you feel like, if you're a person like me who likes luxury, you like buying cars, buying clothes, buying all types of things, we just got to do a better job of just cutting back on our spending. Like, we don't really need to go out there be and spending all this money and having high credit card debt and getting into loans like car payments and everything, because those are the things that the government is just going to continue to profit off of us, and they're going to continue to just be making money off of us the whole time. And if you really think about it, like, we don't really need to have a car payment. We don't really need to have high credit card bills. And there's things that we could do to be able to save our money and to be able to not make the same mistakes over and over again. For me, what I could say is like a couple years ago, I say probably about, I'm 26 now, but when I was 20 years old, I had this illusion in my head that I had to look rich for other people. I had to look rich for other people, and I cared about what other people thought about me. And that was something that I had to grow out of. And one of the mistakes that I made when I was younger was I went and bought a $45,000 car when I was 20 years old. And yeah, I might have had enough money to make the payments every month, but I was working a 9 to 5, just living in the matrix, just slaving just to be able to work to pay my bills. And I want to explain to y'all, like, that's not the way we want to go. That's not the route we want to take, because if you really think about it, those 5, 6 years you're in a car payment loan, like, yeah, it might be cool because you got the whip and everything, but if you really think about it, like, we're just pissing money away. We're spending money that we really technically don't have, because if we don't have the money in cash to even purchase the vehicle, then that means that we really shouldn't be buying it. And you getting in a car payment and you spending all this money every single month, like, you got to pay to make the payments, and you also got to pay to maintain all the stuff that you got. So my advice to y'all is try to keep y'all credit cards low. Try to not really get into a car payment, because they just gonna continue to profit off of you, and they're gonna continue to just be making money, and you're not gonna really be able to have money to spend on yourself and for you to do these other things, because you're just so busy living check to check. And that was one of the mistakes that I made when I was younger. And I've had about 3 cars in my life, and one of them I actually bought cash, and then the other two I had a BMW, and I got the Charger currently right now. But those 2 cars, I was just working my 9 to 5 just to be able to pay those payments every single month, and just to maintain everything. And I had no purpose in life. I had no goals. I was busy trying to live this luxury lifestyle, and it was killing me because I was living paycheck to paycheck, and I was trying to understand like why I didn't have a lot of money to be able to do other things that I really wanted to do. And I was just stuck making a car payment every single month, and I really didn't have a lot of money to do a lot of things that I really wish I could have. And I'm not saying that I took a L, because I had fun, and there were certain things that were cool that I was able to do in my life, but really doing the things that I really wanted to do, I didn't really have a lot of money to actually go out and actually spend it on myself, or actually invest money, or actually put money away, because I was just stuck living check to check. And I feel like a lot of us, we have this illusion in our head that we got to really care about what other people think about us, and we try to live this luxury lifestyle and trying to flex on the gram, when we really should be saving our money. We really should be investing it. We really should be putting it away, and we really should be putting it towards things that are purposeful in life, and things that are going to make us more money. And I made a mistake in my life doing that, and I'm here on this platform trying to share with you guys the things where I went wrong in certain areas of my life. And also just spending money on things like weed, alcohol, going out to the club every single weekend, just trying to be lit, just trying to live that lifestyle. And I'm not saying you can't go out and have fun and treat yourself and, have fun on certain occasions. But if we're doing it every single weekend, and we're buying drinks at the club, we're buying drinks, buying bottles every single weekend at the liquor store, like, that's all money that we could be saving. Like, it's a lot of times where we're just kind of just throwing our money away in the toilet. And if you really look back at it, living like that for 4 years, 5 years of your life, like, think about how much money you could have really saved to invest in your business, to invest in yourself, and to actually be able to do the things that you wanted to do. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't go out there and buy a car for yourself, or you shouldn't, buy nice things for yourself, but getting stuck in 5, 6 year car payments, buying like 45, $50,000 cars. It's not really worth it. I'm telling you, because you can't really live in your car. I mean, you can, but you trying to be with your partner or have a girlfriend or whatever, like your girlfriend's not gonna honor you trying to live in a car. And I feel like a lot of people in today's age, they have this illusion where they just care too much about what other people think, and they just gotta do their best on just trying to look rich, trying to live this scam luxury lifestyle. And that was something that I went through in my life. And I'm telling you, I regret those 5 years that I just wasted spending all my money on car payments, insurance. Because you got to think about it, you got to spend money to maintain all the things that you bought. So it's unless you got a job that's paying like 200K or a little bit over, especially in California, like you're not gonna really have a lot of money to do certain activities that you really wish you could be doing because you're just gonna be stuck in the matrix or working a 9 to 5. One thing I could say is when I was in this situation, when I was living paycheck to paycheck, I was just working just to pay my bills. Like I was just working to pay my car payment. I was just working just to go out, trying to be lit, trying to live this lifestyle that I knew I really shouldn't have been living, because there was times where I was going out to the club and I only had $20, $30 to my name, and I had to wait next week till I got my next paycheck. And that's just not the life that y'all want to live. And I'm telling you, like, I'm living proof I was able to get myself out of that situation, and I was able to grow from that, and I was able to learn. And now that I'm going forward and I'm building my empire and I'm doing the things that I really want to do, now I learned my lesson from that. And that's just something that I would never want to go back into and never want to live that lifestyle. And there's nothing wrong with having fun. There's nothing wrong with treating yourself. There's nothing wrong with doing the things that you want to do in life. But when you start living paycheck to paycheck and you're not having money to actually do the things that you really want to do, then that's when it becomes a problem. So what I could say is just take the time on yourself to build yourself up, to keep saving money, to keep investing in yourself, and try getting your credit right too. Like, credit is a big thing, because without credit, then we're not going to be able to really buy big purchases in life. Because to get a home, you got to have good credit. To get a house, you got to have good credit. Mortgage is good credit. To have a car, you got to have good credit. And the higher your interest rate is, the more money you're going to have to pay towards the principal and towards the interest. And that's just going to be even more money out of your pocket when your credit's not right. And these are just things that I went through in my life that I was able to learn from, and I'm able to now make better decisions on my life, because I know, one, I don't care about what anybody thinks about me. I don't care about how I'm viewed on Instagram. Like, my channel and this whole thing and chosen purpose is to inspire other people and help other people find their purpose. So by doing that, I'm supposed to share the struggles and the hard times that I went through so people don't go down the same path. And it's going to be lonely when you're going through it and you're living and getting to the journey that you got to get to, because a lot of people are not going to really care about your stuff like you do. So, you might have a couple supporters, but don't think you're going to have, 10, 15 friends that are really locked in with you and really care about what you got going on, because it usually don't work like that. Usually, most of the time, our friends and the people that we're kicking it with, they're kind of going through the same thing. So, my advice to y'all is just stay focused on the mission, stay close to God, and just don't make impulsive decisions. Like, you got to think before you make your next move, and you don't want to get yourself in trouble and get yourself stuck in a payment, get yourself stuck in high credit card debt, because these creditors and everything, they're going to send you money in the mail. They're going to send you cards, and you're going to think like you actually have this money to spend. But, for example, you got $10,000 worth of credit card balance and you spend that money. Do you really have $10,000 to pay that off every month, or make your payments every month? And that's just one thing I went through, man. I had high credit card debt too. There was a time where I had, like, I think it was like close to $10,000 worth of credit card debt, and I still had to maintain my car payment. I had to maintain my regular lifestyle that I was trying to put off to the Instagram and social media, like I was rich and I had the bag and everything. But I was really just hurting myself, and I was really in a dark place. And it wasn't until up until like 3 years ago I was able to get focused, and God saved my life, and I was able to come back from everything, and I was able to get out of my credit card debt. I was able to pay my car off, and I was able to just do the things that I really wanted to do and actually build an empire and build a purpose in my life. And the last 2 years I've been living, it's just been the greatest times of my life, because I'm able to wake up every single day and I'm not stuck in a matrix having to work a 9 to 5 and be able to pay my bills. And my things are all paid off, so I'm able to just kind of live my life the way I want to, and I'm not making impulsive decisions now. I'm able to think before I make my next move, and our next move should be our best move. And we should just, we should get more knowledgeable on certain things that are our weak points or the things that we struggle in. And I could tell you, to get more knowledgeable, what we should be doing is reading books, because a lot of the game is in the books. And I think that a lot of people are not really taking the time out of their day to really read books, because they're thinking that they're going to be able to get the game from, let's just say, like these rappers and these people who already got the bag and who are already famous. But I'm telling you, that's not really the life you want to live. And there, everybody goes through something. Everybody goes through dark times, and when you're on Instagram and social media, they're not going to really show the L's and the dark times they go through. They're only going to show the highlights of that life. And you're not really seeing the hard part and the things that they had to do to get to that money. So we just got to make better decisions. Let's do a better job of keeping our credit good. Let's not mess up our credit, because we need that credit score to be able to get the things that we want in life. So we just got to make smarter decisions, and we got to live the life that God has called us to. And we got to stop worrying about what everybody thinks about us, and we got to stop worrying about us trying to live that luxury lifestyle, because I'm telling you, it's all a scam. Like, it's all a scam. You don't want to be stuck in a 9 to 5, just living, working paycheck to paycheck just to pay your bills, because that's not the life. That's not the life at all. And I'm here to show y'all my experience, and give y'all my testimony of the things that I went through. And I'm telling you, God had to pull me out of a dark place, but it wasn't until I actually wanted better for myself, and I actually wanted to become a better person. And I searched so hard to be able to try to figure out all the answers to my questions. And, God was able to bless me with certain traits in my life, like my personality and me being confident in myself and me believing in myself. Because now I'm able to come on this platform, Chosen Purpose, and I'm able to give game to people who might have been in the same position that I was in, or might be kind of going down that same path. And I'm telling you, before you make a decision, like, you got to think real long and hard about if that is the best decision you should make, especially if you sign that contract or you sign that loan term. Like, you don't want to be stuck in something for 5 to 6 years, and you don't want to be in high credit card debt, because you making the minimum payment every single month, they're just making money off of the interest, and you're not really paying that card off in full. Like, you got to be able to just try to live below your means, and actually try to stack money and try to put money away and invest it in yourself. Invest it in yourself, and actually invest it in the things and in the goals that you really want to do. And don't get stuck in the matrix making you think that you just got to go and work a 9 to 5, instead of you trying to build your own business or build your own empire, because you don't want to be stuck in that rat race. And I feel like a lot of people are trapped, and they don't really have a way out, because they're just stuck paying bills every month. So they're living paycheck to paycheck, and they don't really got a lot of money to show for it, do the things they want to do, because it's tough out here. And I'm telling you, that rich luxury lifestyle is a scam, and you don't want to fall for that rapper lifestyle. Like, you don't want to fall for that famous lifestyle that people who already got the bag and who've already made it portray themselves to be. Because, like I said, they're only showing the highlights. They're not showing the hard things that they had to go through to get there. And I'm able to come on this platform and be confident and actually explain the things that I had to go through and the dark times I had to go through. And life was hard for like the last 10 years. I honestly say life was hard, because I didn't really have knowledge on the things that I'm explaining to you now. And it wasn't until I got closer to God, it wasn't until I started picking up books and actually wanting better for myself and wanting out of that lifestyle that I was in. And some people don't want better for themselves. Some people don't actually want it for themselves. And you might be 35, 40, still stuck in the same position. And it's because you're not really trying hard enough. You're not really trying to lock in and do the things that you got to do. So I'm telling you, like, we just got to make smarter decisions. We got to invest in ourselves. We have to get more knowledge, and we got to keep reading and keep doing the things that we need to do to build ourselves up. Because if we start now, we'll be that much ahead of other people. And life is hard, man. Life is tough, and you're gonna go through certain situations in your life, but you can't really look at them as L's. You got to look at them as lessons, because you're gonna learn something out of every single hard time that you went through in life. And like I said, we just got to live below our means, and we got to save money, put money away, and we got to actually work towards a goal. If you got a goal already, then you're already ahead of 95% of the people. I'm telling you, because some people don't even think about this. Like, they don't even think until it's too late. Like, you don't want to be 40, 50 years old and you're just now getting started on your career. Like, no, we got to act now. And when those ideas and things come up in your head, like, we got to act upon it. We got to act, but we also got to be patient, because we got to take the stairs. Like, you don't want to take the elevator and try to take shortcuts, because you're just going to get yourself in trouble doing that. So we just got to be smart about the choices that we make. We got to be close to God, and we got to actually read books and actually want better for ourselves, because that's how we're going to get better and grow every single day. And then eventually we'll be able to talk to these things to other people and show them the experience that you went through, and you'll be able to give game to other people just like I am. And things are going to be a lot better, and you're going to be able to just live life happily. You're going to be able to wake up happy, not stuck in the matrix, not living check to check, and you're going to be able to do the things that you want to do. And it's not easy. I'm not gonna lie to you, because when I was going through my journey for the last 2 years, I was alone. Like, I was real lonely, because nobody's gonna really care about your stuff like you do, and you just got to be able to try to put a team together who are like-minded and actually think the same way you do. And it's hard to find people like that, but if you stay focused, and the people who are bringing positive energy in your life and are being supportive of the things that you got going on and aren't negative, those are the people that you need to keep close to you and keep in your circle and be able to build with them, because 2 or 3 minds is greater than one. So we just got to do our best to just lock it in and staying focused on the goal. And life is going to be a lot much better. It's going to be a lot much more abundant, and we just got to be thankful for the life and everything that God has gave us, because there's going to be plenty of opportunities that are going to be able to come up your way, but we just got to be able to act upon that and take advantage of it. And we got to try to get ahead of other people, and let's just do our best to saving money. Let's do our best at being positive, showing love to other people. And I promise you, life is just going to get better every single day, day by day. Like, we just got to work hard and do the things that we need to do, and we got to be the person that God has called us to be. So let's do a better job of planning and organizing. Let's do a better job of creating goals for ourselves. And we got to really get out of our comfort zone. We got to do the things that we don't want to do, because we start doing that, and we're going to start learning things about ourselves that we never knew we were even capable of. And I had to get out of my comfort zone, and I had to do the things that I didn't really want to do, like reading books, like getting up, going to the gym every day, and just being a better person all around, and being positive and not being negative. Like, a lot of us, we have these negative illusions in our head, and we think that we can't accomplish something. We think we can't do something, and we got to do a better job of just shutting off those negative thoughts and just staying positive 100% of the time. Because if God gave you an idea in your mind, or something pops up in your mind, that idea came from God. So he's given you that mindset for a reason, and we just got to act upon it. And we just got to not be negative and think positive 100% of the time. And I'm telling you, life is just going to be life is going to be life. Like, the last 10 years that I had that were dark, I mean, I'm not saying I didn't have fun, but money was low. I was just working in the matrix every day, working a 9 to 5, and just not having a lot of money to pay my bills. So life got a lot better when I actually wanted better for myself, and I actually took the time out of the day to actually try to figure out where I was going wrong and correcting the mistakes that I made. And things just got a lot better for me. I'm a lot happier. My body's looking better. I'm eating better. My mindset is better. And I'm not saying we can't have fun. We can't treat ourselves, but every single day and every single weekend, we shouldn't be smoking weed every single day. We shouldn't be drinking alcohol every single day, especially if we're not where we want to be, because those are just distractions that are just going to keep us away from the main goal. And it's going to be a lot harder to try to put things in motion when you hung over, or you on the come down from doing drugs or whatever. But we just got to stay focused and make sure we don't lose sight of the mission, and we got to always keep God first. And we just got to do our best to just being the best version of ourselves, man. And God is going to give us opportunities to be great, and we just got to act upon it and stay focused. And if this video was for you, I appreciate you. And go ahead and like and comment, and make sure you subscribe to the channel Chosen Purpose. And there's going to be more videos coming out. And it's Memorial Day, and we out here working, man. So I thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a good night and a good rest of your day. Thank you. And I love y'all too. Don't forget that. Make sure you love yourself.